Hello there, bright minds. I hope you're having a delightful day. It's us again, Sir DJ and Dan, your English learning buddies. To make sure you will learn and enjoy our English lessons together. So make sure you have your pen and your paper ready with you, okay? Because once again, we will explore the wonders of this universal language. So let's get this rolling. Are you good in guessing how things will turn out in the future? Have you ever had that moment when you took a guess of what was about to happen and then it did? Can people really tell what's going to happen in the future? Definitely not. We cannot say for sure what will happen in the future. What we can do is to take a guess as to what's going to happen. A smart guess based on observation and experience. A prediction or a forecast is a statement about a future event. Although future events are, of course, uncertain, this means that guaranteed, accurate information about the future is impossible. However, it can be very useful as a guide of what a person might and should do. Let's see if you can do predictions. Do you remember the if clause? Yes, an if clause is a condition that has to be met for the result clause to take place. Try to give me a possible outcome or a very likely result of the if clause that I will be giving you. Have your pen and paper ready. I want you to write as many result clauses as you can so you can get a bigger chance of guessing it right. Are you ready? Let's go this activity. What will happen next? Here it goes. For the first one, if the sky turns gray, what will happen next? Time's up. How many results were you able to write? I'm sure you wrote a bunch. Good. Let's see if you got it right. Here's the result of my if clause. If the sky turns gray, it will rain soon. Piece of cake. I'm certain you got that right. Let's try the next one. If you do not finish your assignment, what will happen next? Oh my, this could be scary. What will happen if you do not finish your assignment? Let's see if you got that right. If you do not finish your assignment, you will get a low score. Were you able to get the correct result? Let me guess. You wrote that the teacher will get angry, right? Well, that's okay. I see you're answering based on experience, huh? Clever. What about this one? If I eat too much chocolate, what will happen next? Chocolates sure are delicious, but if you eat too much, it's not good for you. If you wrote, if I eat too much chocolate, I will gain weight. Moderate chocolate intake has been shown to help lower blood pressure, improve insulin sensitivity, and improve total cholesterol levels. But since chocolate is high in calories, sugar, and fat, eating a lot of it will cause weight gain. And as we know, obesity has a significant negative impact on health. So be mindful of your sweets. In my opinion, you also wrote something else. If you have clauses about toothaches and stomach aches, then those are good answers too. Here's another one. If the sun gets too hot on the beach, what will happen next? I love going to the beach and I don't mind the heat. It shows in my complexion, right? But what will happen if the sun gets really hot? If the sun gets too hot on the beach, people will get sunburns. I'm certain you got that right. So next time you go to our stunning beaches in the Philippines and are under the summer sun, don't forget to wear sunscreen so that instead of being sunburned, you can say that you will be sun-kissed. And for the last sentence, if you don't go after what you want, what will happen next? Are you uncertain of what to do? Is something keeping you from getting or doing what you want? Then this conditional sentence is for you. If you don't go after what you want, you will never have it. Life is a game. You live so you play. So if you just go around waiting for miracles to happen, you're wasting your time. The world will not stop for you. Do not chase people. Chase your dreams. You might be thinking, why are we talking about possibilities in the future? That's because for today, we will be talking about a conditional that deals with possible outcomes or results in the future. The first conditional. But before we move on to the next lesson, let's have a recap of what we had last episode. Last time, we talked about the zero conditional. What are conditionals? Conditionals are statements expressing the result of a particular condition. The if clause and when clause presents the condition while the main clause or the result clause explains the results. Conditional statements may appear in both affirmative and negative structures. In a statement, conditionals may appear first before the main clause. If the main clause appears before the conditional, the meaning of the sentence remains the same. Look back on your notes. What is a zero conditional? That's right. The zero conditional is also called a factual conditional because it is used to express truths and facts. It can also express habits, instructions, and rules. How do we write a zero conditional? If you're thinking about the present simple verb, then you are correct. We use the present simple verb in both the if clause and the result clause. I see you're studying well. I'm impressed. If the zero conditional is a factual conditional, the first conditional is a possible conditional. Why, you ask? That's because it is not about facts anymore. The first conditional talks about a possible outcome or a result that may or may not happen in the future. It talks about what's likely to happen. This type may be formed using unless, as long as soon as, or in case. But the most common form uses this structure. If or when, then we are going to use the present simple in the if clause, and in the result clause, we will use the future tense, which is will plus the base form of the verb. In the first conditional, the if clause is the condition that has to be met, and the result clause is an outcome that is likely to happen. We are not 100% sure that it will happen, but there is a chance. For example, if I save enough money, I will buy a new jacket. In this sentence, the verb in the if clause is in present simple, while the verb in the result clause is in the future tense. This tells us that the verb in the result clause is a possibility in the future. It may or may not happen. Another example. When I finish with my learning task, I will play video games. Again, do you notice how the two clauses work together? This sentence shows that the speaker will only play video games once he is finished with his learning task. I hope you do follow this example. Accomplish your learning task first before playing, not the other way around. As soon as I receive my salary, I'll buy you a new phone. Sounds like music to your ears, huh? Notice that we used as soon as in this sentence. Just like what I told you a while ago, we can use these. Check your self-learning modules for more examples. Let's try this. If it rains, the road gets wet. If it rains, the road will get wet. Are they the same? You're right, they are not the same. The first sentence states a fact. It is a zero conditional. A general rule that if it rains, the road gets wet. While the second sentence, which is a first conditional, is a warning or advice that is telling you that in the future, the road will get wet once it starts raining. Take note that the first conditional can be used to express possible plans, promises, warnings, threats, or for persuading someone. For example, if I go to Surigao del Norte, I will visit Siargao Island. If I wake up early, I will prepare breakfast. My family and I will go camping if the weather is nice. These sentences show possible plans. If I have time, I will help you with your essay. I will write a poem as soon as I get there. If you stay here, I will buy you an ice cream. These sentences show promises. Remember to always keep your promises because as it is said, people with good intentions make promises. People with good character keep them. When we express warnings using the first conditional, it goes like this. If you touch that wire, you will get an electric shock. You will get a violation ticket if you break the rules. If you're not careful, you will get hurt. Here are conditional statements that show threat. If you eat my chocolate in the fridge, you'll pay for it. I will get mad if you say bad words. If you don't play fair, I will report you. Lastly, if we use the first conditional to persuade someone, it goes like this. If you go with me to the mall, I will buy you a cup of coffee. I will go with you if you ask politely. If you work hard, I will write a commendation letter to the manager. As I have mentioned before, conditionals can be used in expressing a stand or an argument. Expressing an argument is helpful in presenting one's reasoning to change another person's point of view on a particular topic or issue. Conditionals may be helpful in persuading others to move or act and even change their thoughts. Do you still remember the models? We can actually use some of them in our first conditional sentences. Normally, will is used in the main clause of the first conditional sentence. However, you can also use the modal verbs may, might, and could when something is a possible result and not a certain one in the future. If you are nice to me, I may buy you a gift when I'm in Boracay. If they train a little harder, they might win the match. If he doesn't do his work, he could get fired. Now, for a very exciting activity, I will read a conditional sentence and then you'll try to identify whether it is a zero conditional or a first conditional. Are you ready? Let's go! Number 1. If you scream too much, you'll hurt your throat. Is it a first or a zero? Correct! This sentence is a first conditional because the future tense of the verb is present in the result clause. Let's try the next one. When you work out, you burn fats. Spot on! This is a zero conditional. Both the if clause and the result clause used a present simple verb. You will cry if you watch a drama film. Is it a first or a zero? Great job! It is a first conditional. The result clause only states a possibility, not a fact, because not everybody cries over a sad movie, right? When my dad comes, greet him nicely. Is it a first or a zero? Very good. It is a zero conditional because it gives you an instruction. Lastly, God listens when you pray. Amazing! This statement is a zero conditional because it is a fact. When we pray, God listens. Remember, whenever you are feeling down and sad, our Father upstairs is just one call away, and the prayer is a direct phone line to Him. Never miss a chance to pray. For the next activity, we will have a mini quiz. You heard it right. Mini, small, short, and cute quiz. Using your pen and paper, try to answer these questions. Don't worry, it will be very easy, and I'm sure you'll answer all of them correctly. I will be giving you choices, and you will only have 3 seconds to answer. Are you ready? Let's go! Number 1. The first conditional is used if there is blank that the condition will happen. A. No possibility. B. Little real possibility. C. A real possibility. Or D. Few possibilities. If your answer is C, then you got it right. The first conditional is used if there is a real possibility that the condition will happen. Let's have the next one. If we blank free, we'll go with you. Which is correct? A. Were. B. Are. C. Was. Or D. Had been. B is the correct answer. If we are free, we'll go with you. That's because, as we have discussed a while ago, in the first conditional, the verb in the if clause is in its simple present form. Number 3. We'll win if we blank well enough. Which is correct? A. Play. B. Playing. C. Played. Or D. Had played. Did you write A? Then that is correct. Nice work. We'll win if we play well enough. You're doing good so far. Here's the next one. Number 4. If they do not pass their exam, the teacher blank sad. Which should we use? A. Is. B. Was. C. Will be. Or D. Had been. If you think C is the answer, then you are correct. If they do not pass their exam, the teacher will be sad. The verb in the result clause should be written in the future tense. For the last one, number 5. When I find your email, I blank you the pictures. Which is correct? A. Sends. B. Sent. C. Sending. Or D. Will send. Letter D, that is the correct answer. When I find your email, I will send you the pictures. Were you able to write down all 5 correct answers? I'm sure you did. You really are amazing. Good job on keeping up with us. For that, you get another 2 thumbs up from Sir DJ and Dan. As you practice writing the first and second conditionals, try to write down sentences on what you think the future holds for you. What are the things that you want to happen in the future? And since we are writing conditional sentences, what conditions should be met for you to achieve those? And that ends our episode today. That was a blast. I hope you had an amazing time with us. Your English learning buddies, Sir DJ and Dan. Stay tuned because in the next episode, we will make use of our imagination. Always keep safe, guys, and as I always say, never stop learning because life never stops teaching. See you in the next one. Peace.